Hey, what's up guys? We're here for my NPL Week 5 matchup versus Turbo Blaze and the coach of the Hidden Leaf Valley Roserades. I believe I pronounced everything correctly. And yeah, it is Week 5 and we are coming off a win from Ben, or the coach of the LA Go-Goats. And we are currently 3-1, so hopefully we can push on to go 4-1 and proceed to challenge Eric for first in the division and possibly first in the conference. So looking at Turbo's team, I will show you guys his team. He has Mega-Diancie, Latias, Lando I, that is Sand Force, not Sheer Force, because Sheer Force is just totally broken. Arcanine, Scolipede, Chestnut, Greninja, Torrent Greninja, not Protein, because once again, Protein Greninja is broken. Electros, Ditto, Mismagius, and Articuno. He actually dropped the Excadrill that he had previously for the Lando I Sand Force, so he just thought it fit his team better. But anyway, looking at that team, Mega-Diancie is a giant threat to almost any team you play, even though it has a quad weakness to Steel. You really need to prep for it, and if you don't prep for it, it will destroy you, because not only does it provide support with the Magic Bounce ability and its decent defense stats, it provides a tremendous amount of offensive support from a decent move pool, not great. Does get things like Psychic, Earth Power, and then all the hidden powers as well. Yeah, so it can be just really threatening. Diamond Storm so it hits on the attacking side and the special attacking side, so that's another thing I have to watch out for. And Rock Stab is very overlooked, I believe, in League format, so really need to look out for the Mega-Diancie because its base speed outspeeds a lot of threats on my team. The only things that I have to outspeed it are Thundurus and Meloetta Pirouette if I decided to bring that. Other than that, Latios would speed tie it, and I don't want to risk a speed tie with a Mega-Diancie, so I have to bring Thundurus this week. Anyway, the rest of his team, Latias, not too worried about Latias, honestly. I have a lot of checks for it in my team, and I don't think he would even bring it because of the fact that I have a lot of checks for it, honestly. The only reason I can see him bringing it is Healing Wish capabilities and maybe like a screen setter or something, I don't know. Lando I, honestly, I don't think it's coming, but I always have to prep for it, and that quad weakness to ice is really something I would like to exploit, so I don't really have trouble with that. The Arcanine can be a bit of a problem because it could be like banded offensive, or it could be like really bulky and being able to take a lot of my hits, so I don't necessarily know which Arcanine it's going to be, special or physical as well, so I really got to watch out for that. He could be like the bulky Will-O-Wisp set, which could kind of hinder my team a bit, but then again, I have decent checks to it. Next, the Scolipede. That is probably the biggest threat to my team, honestly, because of the fact that it gets a lot of coverage options that can hit my team, and its stab moves, Mega Horn, is actually going to be doing a very good amount. The reason why it's so threatening is because of speed boost, obviously, because you can just run Adamant and hit like a truck, honestly, with Life Orb or something. Gets Poison Jab, Earthquake, Rock Slide, even Iron Tail. I was kind of worried about Iron Tail for my regular Diancie, so yeah, the thing just crazy amount of coverage, so I don't necessarily know what set he could be. He could also be running SD Baton Pass with Speed Boost because that is allowed in the league, and I'm really scared about that, so I cannot let Scolipede start setting up substitutes freely and start just wearing my team down, honestly, and trying to get a Speed Boost passed off into it. Another thing I was worried about, okay, so the next Pokemon is Chestnut. I have a Mega Pinsir. I have plenty of coverage options for Chestnut. There's no way he's bringing it. So I wasn't worried about that at all. The only thing that actually beats 1v1 on my team is probably the Pangoro and even the Diancie to an extent that I brought. Also Blastoise. I brought the Blastoise as well, so I guess Chestnut could have beat that too, but still, I packed Ice Beam on Blastoise, so it's a lose-lose situation for both of us. Anyway, next Pokemon is actually a pretty big threat is Greninja, because it could be a Toxic Spikes lead set that I could not be, or that I wouldn't be ready for, honestly. My best defensive answer to him is the Blastoise, and my Blastoise's best move against him is Scald and trying to get a burn on him. I don't need to throw Aurora Sphere on it because I have a feeling that the other coverage options that I will explain later are better. The other Pokemon is Electros. I have a couple different ways of dealing with it, but it can be a problem because almost always they're Assault Vest, so they're just tanking hits, and they're just really annoying to play against just because of its deadly coverage options. Ditto is a huge threat to my team if I would have brought the likes of Gorbis and Mega Pinsir, so I am not bringing either of those because they're both two of my best setup mons, and I do not want to get swept by a Scarf Ditto. because my team honestly does not match up versus my team very well, if that makes sense. Ditto just going to copy my stats, copy my move pool, and pretty much, yeah, do some work from there. I know he's going to bring it, so I'm definitely like almost on every single mon, not trying to bring another move that's super effective against it, if you know what I mean. And you guys can kind of see that here. Nothing on the Pangoro set can hit my Pangoro, so I kind of want to get that. And then if he goes into it, I can parting shot out slower than he can. So if he parting shots, I get the initiative with my parting shot. Put it that way. So that's just one of the examples that I'm bringing versus the Ditto. So Mismagius, he's never brought it. I don't think he will bring it because of the fact that I have a decent amount of team, or like my team's actually very good against it. I have Meloetta, that's a normal type. I have Pangoro, that's a dark type, and I don't think he would bring Mismagius just because it's frailty, so I'm not really looking for that. And also he has the Articuno, and I don't expect him to bring that as well because my ice type, I don't necessarily have a lot of resistances, but I also don't have a lot of weaknesses too. So it's not really in his best interest to bring it just because it takes 50% from rocks on every switch, and so and he should know that I like to get up stealth rocks. But anyway, that is his team in a nutshell, and I will go through my team specifically with you guys. So the first Pokemon we are bringing is Blitzkrieg, the Assault Vest Thundurus. And if you guys are kind of wondering why the hell am I wearing, or yeah, why am I using a Assault Vest? There's a couple different reasons. The potential Latias, I could tank Dracos from it. I could beat the special attacking variant of Lando Eye. I could also eat hits from the Greninja, and I could also take Moonblast from Mega-Diancie. So this set allows me to pretty much do whatever I want with this thing. Max speed because I outspeed Mega-Diancie and pretty much the majority of his team, barring the speed boost Scolipede. And excuse that, you're fine. Anyway, yeah, T-Bolt is just nice coverage, honestly, because it's just going to hit everything pretty hard, except the Electros and I guess Chestnut, too. Lando Eye is obviously immune, and Latias is taking minimal damage, but I have coverage options for almost everything. The only thing that I don't hit super effectively is the Electros, because it's almost impossible. You have to have, like, yeah, Mold Breaker EQ that I actually brought. So, anyway, yeah, the only thing that I'm not hitting super effectively would be the Mismagius, which does not like to take hits in general. It's pretty frail, especially on the physical side, but this is a special attacking set. Yeah, and pretty much just the Electros. I know I don't hit the Scolipede, but Scolipede's especially defensive investment isn't very good, or at least its base stats aren't very good. Same with the Arcanine. So I feel like my coverage options are very good because if I don't like my matchup, I can always Volt Switch on out because I will outspeed almost everything. Barring a Choice Scarf. And my HP investment is allowing me to eat 2 Moonblasts and be able to OHKO with Flash Cannon on the Mega-Diancie. So just nice HP investment, allowing me to really sponge up some hits with the Assault Vest. It's just a really nice item in my opinion, honestly. So the next Pokemon we are bringing, it is a very good ground immunity. I needed a ground immunity for this team. So the next Pokemon we are bringing is Designer, our Pangoro. We are bringing Mold Breaker, Expert Belt, and we are running Knockoff, Earthquake, Ice Punch, and Parting Shot. So Pangoro really is nice versus his team because if you look at it, there is really nothing that wants to take a knockoff other than Diancie, and I have Earthquake. So like obviously Chestnut can take it, but I don't think he's bringing Chestnut, guys. Like there's no way he's bringing Chestnut. Everything else, my speed investment is to outspeed, I believe, Chestnut. I think I sped crap Chestnut. Also allows me to for sure outspeed the Electros because nobody is going to run speed investment in that thing. So it's always nice to have a bit of speed, and this set can actually put in a lot of work because he does have a double Levitate team, so he has Latias and the Electros, and I can hit both of them with Earthquake, which is really nice. So that's great for me. I know it's not stab, but it's still going to be doing a heck of a lot with my Adamant max attack investment. And the rest is just thrown into HP to be able to sponge hits because there's no other investment that I need to make. Parting Shot's nice because it goes through the Magic Bounce on Mega-Diancie, so I can Parting Shot on out of that thing if I think he's going to go hard into it, and I don't have to risk the potential Earthquake on something like, I don't know, Lando Eye switching in. So that's pretty cool for me. Ice Punch is for the Lando Eye, it is for the Latias, it also, well, I have Knockoff too, but yeah, it's just nice coverage. There's really no other move that I thought would be better than it, so it's just a nice filler, honestly. So that is the designer set. There's not really too much about it. It's just pretty standard. Expert Belt allows me to OHKO the Electros if it is the normal Assault Vest set with the Earthquake, which is pretty cool. I had Muscle Band on it, but I wanted the extra power of the Expert Belt. So next Pokemon we are running is Zelda, our Meloetta, and this time we are actually running a Specs Meloetta with just Dual Stab, U-Turn, and Trick. My speed investment, let's see what my speed investment is for. I want to say it is for the Mega-Diancie before Mega Evolution, so if he does not click Protect, I can outspeed him and just fire off a huge hitting Psychic, which actually I think it has a chance to OHKO because I'm Specs Modest, so max special attack as well, and the rest is just thrown into HP, and then I don't want to waste any EV, so I just threw one in defense. So yeah, that's pretty much the set here. Hyper Voice is really nice for things like Scolipede as well. If you look at his team, there's really nothing that resists normal and psychic stab at the same time, so that is great for me. He doesn't have a steel type anymore that he dropped the Excadrill, so it's just fantastic. Trick is nice for something like the Scolipede. I could also potentially trick something like the Latias. I mean, Choice Specs Latias could potentially be a thing, but it wouldn't like it as much. I could trick the Electros, I could trick the Chestnut if he ever brings it, even Articuno. So yeah, it's just a nice option. I didn't need another move, so I just went with Trick. As you guys saw last week versus Ben, Trick actually almost won us the game single-handedly. So being able to trick the Sylveon and the Umbreon with the same Latios, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, this set is honestly just to stop a substitute like sweep on it, pretty much. And he could kill me with Megahorn if he has a lot of attack investment, but if he is the like substitute protect like speed boost, he trying to get the pass off, he would definitely be more of a support role. So yeah, I don't think he would run a lot of investment. I can eat up a Megahorn if he is like not that much invested attack at least. I think it was around 100, 160 maybe, somewhere in there to eat the Megahorn, and it has a chance to miss too. So I think it's enough investment. Honestly, I wanted to go max power over anything, and then U-Turn is just for initiative. Next Pokemon, this is probably the most creative set we have, and that is Sparkle, our Diancie. And I was looking at his team, and I really wanted to bring Latios, but then again, I was like, no, I can't bring Latios. I'll just bring Blastoise as my spinner to get rid of Hazard. So I decided against it, and I decided, what does normal Diancie do to his team, or what does he do to normal Diancie? And honestly, he doesn't do that much. It is a very good Pokemon versus his team. Look at his Rock Resist. You could argue that Chestnut is a Rock Resist. I wouldn't necessarily, because I don't think he's going to bring it. So then again, it is in one way or the other, but I have so many options to beat the Chestnut, so I don't think he would bring it. So I really banked on the fact that he wouldn't bring Chestnut, and I was correct. So that's very good for me. Even if he did bring it, I still had Meloetta to blow it away if he does potentially bring it. But this particular Diancie set is a Sugar Berry Clear Body set. Clear Body is actually kind of cool because I can't get hit with Intimidate on Arcanine, which could potentially work out for me in the end. Sugar Berry is nice because of the fact that I can eat up an Earth Power from Diancie. I could eat up an Earthquake or Earth Power from Lando I. What else? Earthquake from Scolipede. Yeah, it just gives me so many options that I could potentially do it. Even if he transforms into my Mamoswine from his Ditto, I can eat an Earthquake up and kill it with Diamond Storm. So that's fantastic for me, or even Gyro Ball. Yeah, Gyro Ball is actually great for this team. If you look at my IVs, I have no IVs, and I'm running a minus speed nature, just so Gyro Ball does the most damage possible. So Gyro Ball OHKOs his Mega-Diancie. It does about 30 to 40 to normal Latias sets, so it's really cool, like, what do you call it, I guess, play that I'm going to potentially have in the back. So it's just really cool because I can bluff the like support role with Stealth Rock, and then he can go into that thinking that he can just wear me down and I can't really do too much to him. And I could kill him with Gyro Ball, which is really nice, honestly. Also helps versus Scolipede because he's going to be getting speed boost, and my Gyro Ball is just going to keep doing more and more damage because he will keep getting faster. And Gyro Ball, if you guys did not know, the more power, the slower the user than the target. So I am very slow, and he has a lot of fast threats on his team that I could potentially destroy with Gyro Ball, which is really innovative. Diamond Storm was also nice. It's a what, 100 power move? Yeah, it's a 100 power move, 95 accuracy, and I have a 50% chance to raise my defense. And yeah, I'm running max attack adamant with a 100 base attack stat, so it's still going to be doing a hell of a lot. So that's going to be really good for me, honestly. The Sugar Berry is just nice, I guess, defensive capabilities, because this thing doesn't actually provide much. I didn't want to use the Berry, which helps versus steel type attacks. Shuka is going to help me versus ground type attacks, which I have a feeling that he's going to be using more than the steel type attacks. And I can always scout for the steel moves too, so really cool, honestly. Max HP just for more bulk, and that is the innovative Diancie set. I can actually Oko his Greninja with Moonblast with no investment, so that is the reason why I'm running no investment. Same, it does a ton to Chestnut, but like I said, I don't think it's bringing it. And it also does a decent amount to Latias. I might think Diamond Storm does just barely more, but that's good for me. I can usually just spam Diamond Storm with this thing. It's a great switch into his Scolipede as well. Even though it does get Iron Tail, I don't think you would bring Iron Tail Scolipede. So the next Pokemon we're bringing is Choice Scarf Mammo, our Permafrost, and this is the first time we are bringing Choice Scarf into the league play format with Mamoswine. So we're just running Earthquake, Icicle Crash, Ice Shard for priority, and Rock Slide for something like the Articuno if he potentially brings it. Yeah, so honestly, even like Balloon, if he was Balloon Arcanine, and even it hits the Scolipede for decent damage too. So Rock Slide was just kind of filler. I didn't need rocks because I already had rocks on my Diancie. So this particular set is to do as much damage as possible with the max attack adamant investment, and then I am running 220 speed to outspeed a Greninja that is at max speed. So I will speed creep a Greninja as long as it's not Scarf itself, and I will kill it with, I don't know if I would Oko it with Earthquake, but it definitely does a lot of damage. So this is kind of like a backup plan. I don't see myself winning with Mamoswine, but I could win with Mamoswine. I want to whittle everything down, and then my plan is to just clean up with Mamoswine. Just spamming Earthquake, spamming Icicle Crash, either way. It should be able to clean up relatively easily after I whittle everything down. So, and then the rest is just thrown into HP for a little bit more bulk. So that is our Permafrost set, and the last set we are bringing is Bombshell, our Blastoise, and we're running the Assault Vest set again. This is another pretty innovative set, honestly, with the Torrent ability. Scald, Ice Beam, Aqua Jet, and Rapid Spin, the Assault Vest variant, just because I have 4 attacks. I did want to throw Toxic on, but I realized that I needed a better Electros like switch in, so I wanted to throw Assault Vest on this thing to be able to eat Volt Switches up. I don't think he'd bring T-Bolt on it. I think he would just run Volt Switch because he likes the, well, most people like the added coverage that it gets, something like Giga Drain, maybe like Flamethrower even, or Knockoff. Yeah, I know it gets like Flash Cannon too, so if he wants to bring Flash Cannon or Iron Tail versus Diancie, he can bring that as well. So I don't think he'd bring T-Bolt. I think Flash Cannon and, not Flash Cannon, Volt Switch. And that's only doing around 30% to this Assault Vest Blastoise, which is really, really nice. I'm running I don't actually have a reason why I have these EVs. I just wanted to be really bulky, so I just threw a lot of HP in, and then I wanted them to be even, so they're both 146. So I just wanted to be balanced across the board, able to take hits. Honestly, I know I can eat plenty from the Diancie, and I can actually kill. So if you guys haven't noticed, I'm running a relaxed nature. That is because I have Aqua Jet on this set. It also gives a little bit of extra damage to Rapid Spin, I guess, but that's not the reason why. Anyway, Aqua Jet is really nice because the fact that if I can get his Diancie really low, I can kill it around 30 to 40% with Aqua Jet. Same with the Lando Eye. So if I need a last ditch effort and he's not going to be expecting it, I can spam Aqua Jet and I can actually kill him. So it's just something nice to fall back on that I don't have to use Mamoswine for, put it that way. So it's just the last priority that we have. Scald Ice Beam gives me perfect coverage versus his team. I don't need anything else. Scald naturally breaks substitute on the Scolipede, unless he's running like max Careful Nature, which I highly doubt that he's going to be bringing that. And yeah, that's pretty nice for me. Assault Vest just allows me to tank so many hits. Even if it brings the Articuno, I can take Freeze Dries, Hurricanes, I can eat Lottie's Draco Meteor and hit it pretty hard with Ice Beam. So that is the team we are bringing versus Turbo Blaze for Week 5 in the NPL. So let's hop right into the battle. So looking at his team, he brings the Ditto, the Electros, the Greninja, the Mega-Diancie, the Arcanine, and the Scolipede. So no Latias, that's pretty good for me. No Healing Wish. I don't have to deal with any Articuno shenanigans either, so that's always good for me. But looking at the team he did bring, I knew he was going to bring the Ditto, obviously no Chestnut, and pretty much everything I expected he brought, barring the Latias. So I have a dedicated lead here because I think he's going to try to get off his Mega Evolution as soon as possible, because that is what I would do at least, just because the Magic Bounce is such a nice ability to have. So I'm going to lead my Diancie because it beats his Diancie. Remember, we did pack the Gyro Ball, and I can actually OHKO it on turn 1. So I'm just going to go ahead and lead my Diancie as he leads Greninja, so I'm just going to go hard into my Blastoise here because there's no point in risking a huge Hydro Pump coming out and hitting me here. So he just goes for the U-turn like he should, gets a crit, doesn't matter really. He goes into his Electros here, and so right here, I stay and go for the Scald because I did not want to risk a knockoff coming in here. That is the last thing that I wanted. I could have went hard into Pangoro, or I could have went hard into Mamo, trying to eat up the Volt Switch or get a nice neutral play off. The neutral play would be going into Pangoro here or just staying in. And the risky play would be going into Mamo because it has high risk, high reward. So I didn't want to make that play because the knockoff is a real potential with these Electros sets. So I just stay and go for the Scald. I could potentially get a burn. I just want to wear this thing down. And if you look at his team, this is the only resistance to Mamo's Scarf EQ if I can whittle everything down. So if I can kill this thing, I can literally just clean up with Mamo. So my idea here is I eat most hits that he wants to go for, like with the Assault Vest, and I'm just going to stand and spam Scald and see if I can get a burn. So no burn, as he is able to Volt Switch on out, and it's only doing 39%, so that's not that bad. We're still at a decent amount of HP. He goes into Scolipede here and misses Megahorn. Pretty unfortunate for him. I would have lived unless he's like banded or very attack investment, but I don't get a Scald on another burn, or I don't get the Scald burn, so I guess it kind of plays out very well. So he does do a nice chunk with Megahorn, so maybe he is banded. So go into this thing, I can eat that up relatively well. This gives me a perfect opportunity to set up my Stealth Rocks, and so looking at this play here, he brings in the Electros here, and I'm thinking, well, if you bring an Electros in on a Diancie, obviously you have some sort of coverage option because there's no way. Why wouldn't you just go back into your Greninja or something like that? Even going into your own Ditto would be a decent play here, but he goes hard into the Electros, which is a clear indicator that he does not have, or that he does have a coverage option for me. So that leads me to believe that he's just going to go for something like Flash Cannon or Iron Tail. So I'm going to go hard into my Thundurus here and resist that. Remember, I am running double Assault Vest this week, so I can tank that Flash Cannon on the prediction. And I'm just going to stay in here. So my thought process is he definitely has Volt Switch. We've already seen it. And I have Volt Switch as well. But I don't want to Volt Switch on his Volt Switch because he will get the initiative because he's slower than me. So I'm just going to spam T-Bolt. It does the most damage. Actually, Hidden Power Ice might have done more, but anyway, I just want to go for T-Bolt because it's just a much powerful move, or more powerful move, just in case he does hard switch or something like that. So I just go for the T-Bolt, get a crit, doesn't really matter, so as he's just going to Volt Switch out, and I can eat that up relatively well due to my Assault Vest. So he goes into the Diancie here, and I have Flash Cannon, so I'm just going to stay in. Even if he clicks Protect, I'm going to scare him out with the Flash Cannon, but he actually does not click Protect, and he gets punished with a Flash Cannon and goes down. So I get rid of the Mega-Diancie, which is fantastic. So he just goes back out into this thing. No reason to do anything else but to click T-Bolt again. I don't have necessarily great switch-ins for this thing, and I'm wearing it down, which is exactly what I wanted it to do. So it goes into the Greninja here, and obviously this thing is faster than me, so I'm just going to switch out into my Blastoise because there's no reason to really risk anything, and I could potentially spin away any spikes that he wants to set up. So he just switches out into the Electros on my Scald, and I definitely kill this thing. So Bombshell picks up a kill, and obviously no more Electros, so it's just better for us in the end. So he just goes out into this thing, kills me with Megahorn, which is fine. I had to stay in so he could not click Substitute and start taking advantage of that. So I just go into the Diancie here. I can fire off a free Diamond Storm because there's no resistances, and I just straight up killed the Greninja, which is great for me. So Gyro Ball obviously is not really much of a priority anymore. I can literally just keep spamming Diamond Storm, as Superpower is not doing anything. I don't know if that's banded, I didn't ask him. But we do get this defense boost as well, which is kind of bad because Ditto can copy my stats, but it's not that big of a deal. Goes into the Arcanine, can't intimidate me due to clear body, and I can literally just fire off yet another Diamond Storm here, which is going to do a heck of a lot. So 73%, he'd actually lived on max attack adamant. And the reason why I go for Moonblast here is because I don't want to get another boost and let Ditto get the +2. So I just go for Moonblast here. I know it kills anyway, and the Arcanine goes down. So he goes into the Ditto, copies the Diancie set. No reason for me switching out. I'm just going to see what he locks himself into because he's obviously Scarf. And I can just go into my Thunders now that he locked himself into Moonblast and click Flash Cannon. He actually lives 1 too, which is kind of impressive, but I actually lived the Moonblast because of my Assault Vest. And I'm able to finish him off with my last Flash Cannon, so that is a 4-0 win versus Turbo Blaze in the Hidden Leaf Valley Roserades. So Week 5, we are victorious, and we play Adam next week, coach of the Kansas City Kakunas. He has a Cure in Black. Not really too happy about having to face that thing just because of the fact that it's just such a huge threat. And yeah, I don't like Cure in Black. So anyway, he also has a Clefable, and you guys know how much I hate Clefable. Anyway, very good game versus Turbo, and I wish him luck for the rest of the season. It's kind of funny, our Meloetta, Pangoro, and Mammothswine didn't even get to touch the field, so we won with pretty much 3 Pokemon, which is all I needed, honestly, versus him, because they put in work. They did what they needed to do, and yeah, I guess the rest was just a blanket to fall back on. So I'll take the win. I believe Eric and I are tied for first place in our division now. I have to double check. I'm not sure about the conference. I know we're up there. I guess we could be potentially tied in the conference too because we're tied in the division. So I have to double check. Very good game though, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you next week, and hopefully you'll keep cheering on the Borussia Darkrai. So I'll see you later and have a great day.